Hey everybody, my name is Ryan. This is my Raspberry Pi Sprout. Welcome back to another episode of Sprout Tutorials. Today we're going to be doing something pretty fun, looking at how to set up an RLCraft server on your Raspberry Pi. I didn't really see any tutorials or information on how to do this directly online. I sort of cobbled it together from different sources, so I've got a little to-do list here that we'll be following throughout the video. And I will put the majority of this information in the description below, and also some time cards as well. Just a quick warning, this is a very intensive operation on your Raspberry Pi. A lot of people told me I shouldn't be doing this at all, especially running it on an SD card, but in my opinion, a fun part of Raspberry Pi is just kind of pushing the limits and seeing what's possible. So follow along if you're really interested in RLCraft and want to try something new. The first thing we want to do is we want to go to the RLCraft Serverpack zip file. So I'm going to open a browser here. I'm going to copy and paste that link, and that'll bring us to the RLCraft modpacks page on Curseforge.com. You're going to go ahead and look for this RLCraft Serverpack 1.12.2. It's really important you use this version. Go ahead and click download, and it's going to download the server pack for you, and we will wait for that to happen. Okay, and if you're using Google Chrome, that'll pop up down here. I'm just going to go ahead and click cancel. You can see I've already downloaded it here, but that'll go in your downloads folder or wherever you have that ready to go. And next what you want to do is you want to unzip it. So let's go to our little to-do list here. You want to open the file and unzip it. So I'm going to minimize my terminal, minimize this. I've got a little folder that I've put stuff in just for this video. You can see here's the .zip file. If you right-click it and do open, it should take a minute and it'll give you this little directory with all sorts of interesting things in it. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is, let's see, what is our thing? We want to transfer this over to the Pi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a tab here on my MacBook, and I'm going to CD to desktop and then to my CD desktop. Okay, we're in desktop, and then we're going to CD to Minecraft stuff. And if I do an ls here, we want to transfer over this directory. So I'm going to do scp-r because it's a directory, RLCraft Serverpack there, and we're going to do this pi at Sprout. Okay, and then we're going to, it's going to take a minute because there's a lot of stuff in here. So I'll speed up the video when this is finished, but again, there's like 120 mods in here or something, so be patient. This should only take a couple minutes, and when it's finished, we will come back and move on. All right, looks like we're finished there, so if we hop over to our Pi, I'm going to do a quick ls, and here is our RLCraft Serverpack directory. Let's cd over into it just to, again, see that we've got a bunch of stuff in here. And we'll mess with this later. So now what we want to do is hop over to number 4. We want to make sure we have Forge installed, or at least have the same forge.jar file. So again, I'm going to copy and paste this URL. I'm going to open up our browser, and we're going to hop over to minecraftforge.net. And again, it's really important that we have the same version of Forge that we do on RLCraft. So here we have 1.12.2, and again, and here we can see we have 1.12.2. So those definitely need to be the same. So let's go ahead and wait for this to load, and then we're going to click this installer button. It's going to take us to one of these like sneaky ad pages. Top right, it says please wait a couple seconds, don't click on anything. And once that's ready, we will click it. Okay, we'll press skip, and again, it'll do a little download here. I've already downloaded it, so again, that'll go in your downloads directory or wherever it is for you. For me, it's in this Minecraft stuff folder, so I'm just going to drag and drop that to my desktop so I don't have to change directories all the time. Okay, and then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to cd to desktop, okay, and then I'm going to scp forge blah 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 installer, and we'll do this to my Raspberry Pi. I'll type in my password, and this should be much faster. There we go. Let's clear that. Okay, and if I do ls again, boom, there's our forge installer.jar. So let's go ahead and sudo scp forge-1.12 blah 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 to RLCraft directory. Okay, we'll cd over to RLCraft directory, ls. Now we have the Forge installer. Okay, so far so good. Let's look at our to-do list. Next, what we want to do is transfer Forge. Got it. Right, we want to switch a version to Java JDK 8. Normally I'm running on Java JDK 17.0.1. If we do java-version real quick, you'll see that we're running on 17.0.1. Okay, and that reminds me, I need to, this is not important for you, sudo service Minecraft stop. I have another Minecraft server running on Java JDK 17.0.1, so I'm going to stop that service. It's running on a systemd. You don't need to do this. Don't type this in, and I'm sure nothing would happen even if you did. What we want to do is, as I mentioned, switch over to JDK 8. And again, I'll put this link in the description below. If you don't know how to install Java, I've got kind of a step-by-step video on how to do that. I'll put the time card and the link in the description below on how to install Java on your Raspberry Pi. But if you already know how to do that, and you might even have Java JDK 8 on here, type in sudo update alternatives config java, and you'll get this little list here. And you can see that I've already installed JDK 8. It actually reads out as 1.8.0. So what I'm going to do is, because it's number 4, I'm going to type in 4 here, press enter, and then if I do java-version, we'll see now I'm on Java JDK 1.8.0 _321. I don't know why it needs to be on this version, but it does. I tried running it on Java 17.0.1 and it didn't work. So that's what we need to do. Okay, next we're going to switch to VNC Viewer. Now there may be a way to do this headlessly. I'm not sure, but as far as I know, we need a GUI interface for this. Correct me in the comments below if you disagree with me there. So if you don't know what VNC Viewer is, it's a nifty little sort of GUI interface where you don't have to do things headlessly or plug your Raspberry Pi into a screen every time you want to do something. So I'll link a description below on where to download VNC Viewer. It's very straightforward. When you open it up, you want to go ahead and type in your IP address. For me, it's my static IP. If you don't know how to make a static IP for your Raspberry Pi, I have another video on how to do that, so check that out. But I'm going to press enter there, and it's going to ask me for my username and password. I hope I typed that in right. And boom, there we are. We are in the Raspberry Pi now. So I'm going to open a terminal here, and it's kind of funny. I've got a terminal here and a terminal here. So what we want to do is we want to cd over to our RLCraft directory, do an ls, and we want to open up this installer.jar. So to do that, I've got this little command here, java-jar, and then the forge installer.jar we just installed. Okay, so I'm going to do paste, okay, and press enter. And again, the reason I think we need a GUI is because this little window pops up and we need to click install server, and then we go to this little ... button here, and we want to redirect it over to this server pack that we first installed. Okay, so we're going to click open. All right, now you may be able to do this headlessly. I'm looking now, you see it says pi-rlcraft, so you might be able to do something like java-jar, and then do the installer.jar, and then do like -- install server pi r. I don't know. I haven't experimented too much, but I know that it works with VNC Viewer. So if anybody wants to experiment with doing this all headlessly, please let me know, because I prefer to do it that way. So we'll press OK. And now it's going to download the server, which is great. We are, kind of taking a big step here with getting a Minecraft RLCraft server on our Raspberry Pi. So I'll speed this up, and when it's finished installing, shouldn't take too long, we will continue. Okay, looks like we have successfully downloaded Minecraft. Awesome. So we'll press OK, and then we will exit out of VNC Viewer. As far as I know, we don't need it anymore. And we're going to go on to our next step. We're going to create a little bash script. So let's cd over to our RLCraft directory. And you'll notice we have some new things in here, particularly this forge.jar and this Minecraft server.jar little files. Now we're going to do something called making a bash script. So I'm going to run the command sudo, sudo nano, we'll call this run.sh. How about that? You can call it anything you want, but the .sh part, is important because that tells the computer or the Raspberry Pi that it's a bash script. So we'll press enter. I've already got mine ready here. Just going to copy and paste it into here. So bin bash just tells the operating system that it's a bash script. This bit here is going to be your Java parameters. I put mine all the way up to 7 gigs. If we real quick, let's hop over here and we'll SSH into our Pi to show you something. If I run the command htop, you'll see that without anything running except I think Java, and I've got a couple of other operations running, I'm only taking up about maybe 500 MB of memory on my Pi out of 7.63. When you run RLCraft, it is going to take a lot of memory. So you see that we've got 7.63 here. I recommend putting it all the way up to 7 if you can afford it. If you can't afford that, put it up to, I don't know, 6. It's really whatever you want, but I'm going to put it at 7 because I like to live dangerously. And minimum is going to be about 4 gigabytes. So you should have at least 4 gigs available. And that's why it's really important you're running this on a 64-bit OS Raspberry Pi. If you don't know how to install the 64-bit operating system, I have another video on how to do that. You can check it out. But yeah, your Pi should have at least should have 8 gigabytes of RAM, or 7.63. Okay, and then we have -jar, and then the .jar file we just got from opening the installer. Okay, no GUI pause. We'll do Control X, press Y, enter. So we'll clear that. And now we want to make this bash script executable. So we're going to do sudo chmod +x run.sh. Okay, so we do ls again. Now it's green, which means it's executable. All right, we are very close to being finished here. Now we're going to run the bash script and agree to the EULA. So we'll do bash run.sh, press enter, and we'll see what happens here. We should get a bunch of nonsense. That's normal. And it should fail here in a minute. Now, while we're waiting for that, we are going to hop over to Curseforge. Now, again, I'll link this in the description below. I found a really good 3-minute video on how to install Curseforge. It is just a sort of a client to open RLCraft in your Minecraft launcher. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up so you see what it looks like. So let's also keep an eye here. Okay, so while that's opening, we can see here failed to load EULA. So let's clear that. We'll do ls. We will do sudo nano EULA.txt. Okay, we need to change this from false to true. Control X, Y, clear. Okay, and while we're at it, okay, so here you can see Curseforge is open. We'll come back here in a minute. I'm going to minimize that for now. What we also want to do is, so install and run Curseforge. And before you run the bash script again, we're going to make sure we've changed these things in the Server.properties file. So you'll notice you have this little text file. It says for servers only, set these in Server.properties. So let's nano into that. Okay, and we'll see what it says. So it wants us to change these properties here. I believe they should be changed by default, but let's go ahead and get in there anyway and see what we see. So we will do sudo nano server.properties, and yeah, max tick time is set to -1. Let's see what else here we have. Difficulty 3, PvP true. Okay, max players, I'm going to put that, because again, this is a very high intense thing. I'm going to put this to 4 for max players. I'm also going to lower the world size. I'll put that, maybe 5,000 blocks in each direction. I'm going to change the server port just because I have my other Minecraft server running on 25565. I like to run tests on 25570. Okay, what else here? View distance, I'm going to put that down to maybe 6 just to not blow up our machine. What else do we have here? Okay, and I think that is pretty much it. I think we needed to change what? Enable Archon? No, we want enable query. No, we want enable. No, where the hell is it? What is it? Enable. Oh no, it's allow. Excuse me. Allow flight. Okay, there we go. Allow flight is true. So these should be good, but go ahead and take a look at this. You can pause the video if you want. Just make sure these are all set to what they should be. Okay. Next, we check the ports, as I just mentioned. If you're running another server, just make sure it's not conflicting with another port. So I'll do Control X, enter, clear. Okay. And then we're going to run the bash script again, and this will take a minute because it's, again, a really intense process. So I'm going to ls. Here's our bash script. So we're going to do bash run.sh, press enter. And this is probably going to take the longest time. because again, there are like 120 mods here. So we're going to give this a minute to load. And while it is, we are going to hop over here to our HTOP diagnostics page, and you can see that it is climbing. Memory use is climbing, absolutely. Again, I mentioned before, this is not something you want to run like 24 hours a day, maybe just for fun with your friends. And in the future, I will do another video on how to boot your Raspberry Pi from like a USB or an SSD, because right now I'm just running this from an SD card. Yeah, which you kind of risk like sort of destroying your SD card by running such an intensive process on it 24/7. So in the future, I'll probably update this video or put a link in the description on how to boot your Raspberry Pi from a USB or an SSD external. So we have a little more breathing room with this sort of process. Okay, so while that's happening, we want to go back to Curseforge, and in Curseforge here, in the video I linked, it'll show you how to add Minecraft or RLCraft. If you just search for it in the modpacks directory, you'll get it here. I've already installed it, so let's go back. We'll go to My Modpacks, I'll press play, and this should automatically open your Minecraft launcher. So you can see that it's trying there. And when that opens, it will automatically direct you to the RLCraft launcher here in the bottom left. So you can see it says RLCraft Forge-1423, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we'll go ahead and press play. And then this is going to take the longest time out of anything, I think, because it needs to open the load screen, which is pretty cool. And I'll go ahead and superimpose that on top of the diagnostics page so you can just sort of see how much this takes. And again, now we're all the way up to 3.32. If you're not interested in any of this stuff, you can go ahead and fast forward through the video. I will also speed things up once the load screen opens, because I think it looks kind of cool, worth taking a look at. So just be patient with me. We are nearly there. Okay, so there we go. We've got something opening here. All right. Just one more minute. I'll go ahead and minimize Curseforge. I'm not sure if that needs to be open or not. All right, there we go. So now we've got the RLCraft load page there. It's like a little dragon. So I will definitely speed this part up because it takes a really long time, at least for my computer. You know, I've just got a MacBook, and we will come back when it is finished. So stay with us. Okay, so looks like we are in our RLCraft sort of main page here, and you can see that we're running at 3.84 gigabytes on HTOP. So let's go ahead and make this a little bigger, kind of like put it in the center screen there. Now what we want to do is hop over here. Let's go back to our server thing here, and it looks like we are pretty much done. It says can't keep up. That means it's really intensive. So let's open this up. We'll go to multiplayer. And I've already kind of gotten one ready for you guys. You can see here's 4 players like we changed in Server.properties. So if you don't know how to do this, I'll delete that. I'll click Add Server. We'll do RLCraft tutorial. And go ahead and put in your static IP here, 168.1.201, and put in the port that we changed in the Server.properties. So for me, that's 25570. We'll click Done. And there it is, 4 players, and we will log in here. Go ahead and log in and see what we can see. Okay, and you can see here on the back end there's something happening. Okay, it says Scotland Fog has joined the game. That's my little thing there. Okay, and we will wait. And if you know RLCraft, it's very likely I'll spawn in the ocean, but I didn't. Oh wow, I'm in some sort of village. Wow, this is a really lucky start. What the hell is this thing? It's like oh wow, it's like a villager outpost. Wow, really neat. And hey, here we are. We are playing RLCraft on a Raspberry Pi. This is a new structure for me. I've never seen this before. You can see that performance is okay. It's not too bad. There's a little lag there, but overall it's pretty much working, which is really neat. Let's see if we can trade with this guy. Yeah, we can, open doors, and oh wow, there's hay in here. Wow, this is a great start. I'm gonna keep this. probably this start here. But yeah, guys, this is it. That is running a RLCraft server on your Raspberry Pi. It is totally open to multiplayer if you want to open up your ports. Just again, be careful with running this thing for too long, because it'll really damage your SD card in the long run. So if you like the video, leave me a comment below. Tell me what I could have done differently, or if you have any tips. I would be happy to take care of that in the future. So have fun and happy crafting.